guys, today we're going to do an after build review of the T-Magic RS2, E4RS2, Black Magic is what they call it, or the name that they gave themselves. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go and work from the front to the back and just tell you about the car itself, what I thought was good, bad, and just tell you the kind of the features of the car itself. So we'll start with the front. We're going to go, the sway bar set itself is kind of bad engineering as far as I see it, because the way that the sway bar itself links up to the bulkheads is kind of shaky on my question, or in my opinion, because they don't seem to mount up correctly, which kind of throws off, what they were trying to do exactly. And to make them actually work properly, they don't look like they should be how they are. And moving on, we're going to go to the shocks. Shocks were great. The only thing that I don't understand about the shocks was the springs themselves have these kind of like these tags on them. These are yellow 27s. The rear has orange 25s. So I wasn't really sure why they did that. Why they couldn't just color code them, or like put a little engraving on the tops, which are nice, which I like the most out of all of them. The company that actually has those. So moving on, the shock towers are cut out here for more flex, I'm guessing. But taking away that flex seems to be the mount that you actually put the carbon fiber shock tower onto, is this mount here, and this goes all the way across, which only a few companies have. And not only that, but you have 3 screws going through the top right there too, which kind of threw me off there, and I wasn't quite sure why they took flex or put flex in and then took some away to, they stiffened it. So it's kind of weird why they couldn't just do it kind of a traditional way. Maybe, I'm sure this piece of aluminum isn't that that cheap, so I'm sure they wasted some money on taking away some carbon fiber and putting in some more aluminum. And then moving on from there, the axles are not rounded CVDs. They're more like a traditional rear axle. So you have basically the same axle all the way around the car. I've never seen that before, except for on lower end, like $200 touring cars that you buy ready to run. So that's something new to me. Then you go on to the turnbuckles, or tie rods, whatever you want to call them. These look like they're going to break or bend easily. The balls that the cups go into, so the ball studs that are inside here and over here, are just completely not smooth at all, and I had to sit there and try to polish them, which didn't even work that well. Now they're a little bit smoother. Before they kind of went like this and just rolled like this, so it kind of binded up the suspension a little bit, but there's not that much I could do there. It has aluminum C-hubs. That's a great thing for the car itself. Stiffens the suspension up a little bit, I guess you could say, but it's also a durability part. Hopefully they don't bend. Hopefully it's made out of good aluminum. The steering blocks look like they're from an X-ray, so that's a plus. And then you have the mounts. The arm mounts are like a traditional, older kind of 3 years ago style from the X-rays, and the Associated still has it like this also. But most of the companies have gone to the independent arm mounting systems, where they're independent from the bulkheads themselves. So that's questionable about why they did that. Then it also has the bell cranks, which are right here. This is something that I was happy to see on the car. That's something that I'm glad they put on the car and didn't have the servo sitting long ways. Now that it sits transversal with the steering, so there's more power from the servo going to the track itself when you're racing. And you're moving back, you have the radio tray. There's actually carbon fiber pieces here. I thought that was really cool and stylish, I guess you could say. that they put that there. Top deck is a one-piece top deck. The chassis is cut out here for the motor, so the the chassis has equal flex on both sides. The motor mount is a two-piece actually, my bad. So two-piece motor mount. You have a connector here that connects it to the chassis. So this is actually not connected straight to the chassis. There's actually a separate piece that has a screw going through on this side, and then right here is where this connects to the bottom of the chassis, and then the rest of it is one piece. So that's, I guess you could say, I don't know really why they did that, why they couldn't just make it one piece, one solid piece of aluminum, but there's an extra screw in there. You have the middle, or the spur gear is in the middle of the lay shaft. The lay shaft sits on ball bearings, which are captured by the top deck. It's not independent at all. The motor mount and the lay shaft mount are all connected by the lower chassis on the top deck. What else? That's pretty much it, except for the only other thing, everything's the same in the rear as the front, as far as what I talked about with the sway bars, the arm mounts, and the turnbuckles. But the front and rear diffs do not use the stock fluids that they give you. Horrible idea. Makes the car drive like it's ready to run off the shelf. It's literally horrible if you use the stock fluids. So in the front I put cleaning putty. So that's, if you can see here, that's it's almost like a spool with some play. It's kind of nice. And in the rear I put 1,000 weight associated diff oil. Other than that, that's pretty much it. The car is pretty solid, and we'll definitely have to get it out on the track and kind of see where we stand after that. Thanks for watching.